Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to discuss about the Agnipath scheme. It was recently in news. The government has unveiled this new scheme for recruiting the soldiers into the armed forces. Now, what is this? This is a new defense recruitment reform. And who cleared it? The Cabinet Committee on Security. And it will come into effect immediately. Let's get into the basic question. What is the Agnipath scheme? It is a scheme for recruiting soldiers across the three services, that is the Navy, Army and Air Force. It is a short service model where the soldiers will be recruited annually, and this will be the only form of recruitment for the soldiers into the defense services from now on. And the recruitees will be called as Agniveers. Format of the scheme. The candidates will be enrolled under the Army Act 1950 for a service duration of 4 years, which includes the training period as well. Under this scheme, 45 to 50,000 soldiers will be recruited annually. 75% will leave the service in 4 years as it is a short service commission. And 25% will be allowed to continue for another 15 years under the permanent commission. Well, Agniveers. Those who are recruited under this scheme are known as Agniveers. And they would form a distinct rank in the armed forces which is different from any other existing ranks. Coming to the eligibility. The aspirants who are between the age of 17.5 years to 21 years are eligible to apply. And the scheme is applicable to personnel below the rank of commissioned officers, that is below the officer ranks. The recruitment process. Recruitment will begin within 90 days under this scheme, and it will be done twice a year through rallies, the Army recruitment rallies. Enrollment to all the three services will be through a centralized online system, and the recruitment will be carried out on a all India all class basis. For those who are reselected after this period of 4 years, the initial 4-year period will not be considered for their retirement benefits, which they will be accruing after the completion of their term. The training period. Once the aspirants go through the training for 6 months, they will be deployed for 3.5 years of service. Agniveers will be liable to be assigned on any duty in the organizational interest, and they can be posted to any regiment or unit and can be transferred in the organizational interest. Coming to the salary and the benefits. The pay and emoluments of Agniveers will be as given below, starting from 30,000 in the first year to 40,000 in the fourth year. They also include the applicable allowances. 30% of their salary will be set aside under the Seva Nidhi program, and the same amount will be contributed by the government, and this will be given to the soldier at the end of their period. At the end of the 4-year period, each soldier will get 11.71 lakh, which will be tax-free. They will also get a life insurance cover of 48 lakh for the 4 years. In case of death, there will be a payout of 1 crore for the unserved tenure. They will not be entitled to gratuity and any other pension benefits under this scheme. For the 25% of soldiers who are reselected, already we have mentioned this point. Their 4-year initial period will not be considered for the retirement benefits. Grant of leave will be subject to the exigencies of the service. They can have an annual leave up to 30 days per year, and the sick leave will be based on the medical advice. So benefits of the personnel exiting the service after the 4 years of term. They get the Sevanidhi package, Agniveer skill certificate and a class 12 certificate. Let's look into each one of them. Sevanidhi package. This is the corpus generated after 4 years of contribution paid by the exiting Agniveers. They contribute 30% and a matching contribution will be made by the government. Agniveer skill certificate. At the end of the engagement period, they will be provided with a certificate highlighting the skills and the level of competency acquired during their engagement period. Class 12 certificate. So most of these Agniveers will be enrolling after qualifying class 12th, class 10th. So an equivalent certificate of class 12th will be given after the completion of their 4 years. According to the government, Agniveers on completion of their 4-year tenure and the prime of their youth will be mature and self-disciplined youth who will be a better version of themselves professionally as well as personally. Significance of the scheme. The first point, leaner and younger force. It will make the armed forces, the 13 lakh strong armed forces, younger from the present 32 years to 26 years. The second point being reducing the defense bill. A leaner force and the reduced benefits will considerably reduce the defense bill. As the pensions made up around the major chunk, 28.4% of the defense budget. Further, this money can be utilized to buy state-of-the-art technology and equipment which are the backbone of a modern warfare. Even the countries like China are focusing on this aspect. This scheme will ensure an all India all class recruitment to the services, which is significant for the army, where the regiment system has region and caste basis. And this move would eliminate this with time and allow anybody from any caste or any region or religious background to be part of the existing regiments. For example, we can see a few regiments here like Naga Regiment, Punjab Regiment, Madras Regiment, Sikh Light Infantry and so on. Ad hoc buffer force. They could act as an ad hoc buffer force which can be called upon to serve and boost national security in times of internal and external threats. The skills and the experience acquired during the 4-year service will allow the soldiers to get employment in various fields, and this will make the availability of high skilled workforce, which also boosts the economy and the productivity. All major militaries in the world are undergoing these reforms, and there is a trend towards the reduction in the number of personnel and emphasis on increasing the capital expenditure on the modern weapons and equipment. What are the advantages of this scheme? According to the government, the dividends are many. A short-term tenure in the force would facilitate the enhanced fitness and loyalty for the country. This would also lead to the availability of high-skilled workforce, which will boost the overall productivity gain. This is a unique opportunity for the youth of the country to serve the country. The armed forces profile will be youthful and dynamic. Why are the aspirants protesting against the Agnipath scheme? Let's look into this question. These are the protests happening in many places or many states of our country, and the students' outrage has turned even ugly in a few places like Secunderabad railway station, where vandalism has taken place. The protesters are demanding the rollback of this scheme as they believe it would lead to contractualization of jobs in armed forces. The present benefits and security of jobs will be lost. The uncertain future of Agniveers who come out of the 4 years of service. 6 months of short training may not be enough. And there is a fear of favoritism as only 25% will be inducted on permanent basis. The All India All Class recruitment may lead to the erosion of loyalty a soldier has for his regiment. This is a perception. As the Agniveers are for a short term basis, they may not have the commitment of a permanent member of army. For years, youth have been preparing for the army recruitment, and there are no recruitment for the past 2 years given the pandemic situation, and they feel cheated that they are not getting the required recruitment and they are getting a short-term service. What are the challenges associated? The first thing would be the handling the crunch of vacancies in the Indian Army, which have not been filled in the past 2 years. And second, the Army's experiment so far with the closed regiments have not yielded any good result. Yeah, the Agniveers has to face a few hardships for employment after the completion of service. Experts believe that shorter duration of service would compromise on the training morale and commitment compared to permanent commission. Yeah, let's sum up. The present benefits and security of jobs will be lost. Short training may not be enough. The fear of favoritism, lack of commitment. Let's look at the way forward. What else can be done? The government should have tested this scheme as a pilot project before scaling it up any further, because this is not a small scheme and it affects the defense sector. A longer contract term for longer than 4 years and relooking to increase the intake from 25% to 50% can be advantageous. The policy commitment for reabsorption should be very credible, that the CAPFs and the state police forces should be giving a commitment to absorb these Agniveers. They can continue with the existing enrollment for the shorter time, and after a certain period they can increase it gradually from 5 to 10 years. Thousands line up at the recruitment rallies to realize their dream of being an army personnel, and some of them are the only earning members and they just want a job security, not a 4-year short-term commission. The conclusion: no reform can be foolproof and without any troubles, but as the Agni scheme concerns with the national defense and security, the government should address the problems that lie beyond this step. A nation should not compromise on the personnel who make up its armed forces. But this is a required reform because it reduces the burden on the exchequer as well as increases the youthful profile of the forces. It is a unique opportunity to the youth to serve the country and contribute to the nation building. It makes the armed forces youthful and dynamic. There will be availability of disciplined force, the civil society. That's it for today. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe.